Hey, you guys, this is Justice with Fighting for Justice with my life as a targeted individual. I haven't gone live in maybe almost over a week, you guys, but the electronic abusers and the voice to skull technology has not let up on me as far as my life as a targeted individual. I'm back here at the White House, and it seems that there is something really, I guess, spectacular or juicy going on, or a lot of tours that are going on here at the White House. I'm here with my sign today as a targeted individual, just to promote the fact that I'm going to keep talking. And since people are targeting and harassing and gang stalking me, I figured why not put it on a sign and let them know that I know when they're approaching me or when they're trying to left-right me or trying to gang stalk me. I want them to know, instead of just keeping my mouth closed as the electronic abusers and the voice to skull technology would like to promote for me to do, instead of voice my opinion about some of these illegal tactics that they're actually using against me. I rather just let the gang stalkers and the electronic people who are going along with the electronic abuse and the electronic gang stalking know that I am not for being harassed or gang stalked. So anyway, you guys, I'm here at the White House. I like to visit the White House. I like to repeatedly visit the White House because it reminds me of when I first got here in DC. I came to the White House seeking justice for the electronic harassment and the voice to skull violations that's been going on with me. And it has been going on repeatedly with me for over since 2012. And I have been fighting this fight mostly by myself. One thing about voice to skull and electronic harassment, they want to make it seem as if they are for you, but they do all this abusive stuff to you, like shock you, play with your eyes, play with your head, play mind tricks. They even, would have some famous stars and me in an intimate moment, but we'll tell Rihanna that later. And things that that possibly will never happen and has never happened, these electronic abusers will definitely put it in your head and in your dreams to make it seem like this is so vivid and so real, when I know that it's far beyond what it can possibly be. And this is the type of abuse repeatedly that I have experienced with being a targeted individual and being gang stalked. Now, when I first arrived here in DC, one of the places that I initially came to was the White House. This was my first destination on my list before I even sought any type of place to lay my head. The White House was one of the first places I wanted to come and see, because I wanted the electronic harassers and the voice to skull abusers to gang stalk me here at the White House. And lo and behold, that's exactly what they did. My very first time visiting here at the White House, and I've publicized that information as well, and there's a little bit more to the story that I have not publicized. When I arrived here in DC, now the electronic abusers and electronic harassers, they know exactly what it is that they need to do in order to kickstart and jump things off to make it seem like you're the villain or you're the bad guy. Now, when I was in Las Vegas, I bought a taser. Now, this is something that the electronic abusers and electronic harassers and voice to skull, they knew that this is something that I had on me. Being that I was here new in DC, and when you're being remote neuron monitored in your skull and you're being systematically timed throughout the day, 24 hours a day, basically you can actually, think of something in your head and your body would just start moving without you. That's how you know that they're actually moving you to where it is they want you to go. Or they can manipulate your head and actually put something inside your head and manipulate and maneuver you to where it is, like here at the White House. On a very busy day today. A busy day like today, people would blend in. If they were gang stalking you, they would blend in because it's so heavily tourist and attraction today that people will just blend in automatically, and you wouldn't be able to tell which person is a gang stalker or not unless they're wearing some type of gang stalking symbol, or unless they're systematically remote timing you or monitoring you in your head at the same exact time. Now, when I first got here to DC, the electronic harassers and the electronic abusers, they knew that I had a taser that I bought for myself in Las Vegas before I arrived here in DC. Now, the reason why I had this taser, and it brings me back to a case that I have here in DC that's pending, where a sexual predator or sexual abuser actually violated me in such a manner. Now, either they were remote monitoring this person to make him do that, or this person ill-willingly did this on his own. That, has yet to be determined, because this person has not spoke about being gang stalked, electronically harassed, or being, has not talked about this technology. But also they have the participants of this electronic harassment and gang stalking. They have these participants that will, I'm noticing as I'm talking about certain things live with you guys, I notice how they have certain people move and huff and puff according to each little spiel or each little thing that I tell you. And that's a part of being electronically harassed. I don't need someone to answer my questions when I'm talking. People don't talk, and next thing you know, somebody, your eyes maneuver and point in a certain direction. I'm trying to keep the camera in the same direction as my eyes are moving, because they're electronically moving on their own. And I don't need anyone, when I'm talking or when you're speaking, I don't need any type of guidance from electronic harassment. And for some reason, they like to answer, or when I talk, they like to answer or give their opinion about something that I've stated. And I notice this, like when my eyes move, they'll move to a certain person to where this person is making some type of body language gesture in regards to the electronic harassment. And so this is how I know that they're actually electronically harassing me at this particular time. Anywho, when I first arrived here in DC, I was speaking in regards to being electronically harassed, voice to skull, and gang stalked. Repeatedly, they have these predators, and they also call them perps, but I call them predators, because these predators, they had these predators repeatedly feel on me, walk by touching my behind, walk by touching my titty and walking off. So what I did when I was in Las Vegas was I bought a taser. And I bought this taser because I said, okay, somebody touch me again, I'm going to tase their motherfucking ass, because they don't have the right to fucking touch me. And being electronically harassed and electronically abused by this technology and this device, they either maneuver to where people can actually touch me inappropriately, or they voiced the skull and told these people to do this type of behavior to me. And I got so fed up to where until I bought a taser, and I said, no more. You know what I mean? It's like being raped. If you're fondled or touched on and inappropriately, and the electronic harassment are the gang stalkers or these predators that participate in this type of systematic activities, they have these people fondle and touch on me, and for some reason, they believe that this type of behavior was okay to do. And so I bought a taser, and when I bought the taser and the taser actually got delivered to me, of course the electronic harassers and the voice to skull technology, whoever these abusers are, they know that I received this in the mail. They know that I ordered this. And that type of behavior stopped once I bought that taser. Now, one of the things about, when you're being electronically harassed and gang stalked, they know exactly what it is that you are actually doing. They know when you order something in the mail. They know when it arrives. They know every single beat of your life that is not privy to them. So, of course, when I came here to DC, they knew that I had this electronic taser on me. So I was sitting here over there exactly on the stool here at the White House, and I was just sitting here on the stool. Now, I was sitting here and I'm talking just like I'm talking now because I like to write memos down and I like to voice my opinion about the electronic abuse and electronic harassers. And that prompted one of DC's Secret Service. And I say DC because supposedly this person that stole my backpack, he said that he was part of the Secret Service before he stole my backpack. But he said he was a part of the Secret Service in Florida. Now, the only difference is I don't know. I know that I researched online and I see that there are different Secret Service agents all over the United States. At least that's what it pulled up online. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're electronically harassed, my computer's been hacked and tampered with to where I see all kind of rubbish all throughout the day. So it does not surprise me if I can't trust what I see on the internet, in other words, because I don't know if it's a true fact. Whether I always grew up believing the Secret Service was here in DC, but it wasn't until my backpack got stolen that I researched if there was a Secret Service in Florida. Now, whether or not it's true, the internet, of course, if they're gang stalking you and remote harassing you and they are trying to get you believe in something, because the whole thing about being electronically harassed and gang stalk is that they're trying to get you believe what it is they want you to believe about whatever it is type of scenario. So I don't know if that's a true fact or not. And of course, I don't believe what is on my electronic devices at face value for the simple fact it's been manipulated so many ways. It's construed so many ways that simple things just automatically or it's like someone is behind the scene. What do you call it when you say hot dog? So it's like someone's behind the scene finding every article, every title, every post or publication that has hot dog as a key word in or tag word in it. It's bringing up for me to look at every hot dog, just like dogs and cats and snakes and animals. You know what I mean? It's bringing up all these type of gestures. So, I've never seen so many dogs and cats a day in my life posted on Facebook. So anyway, I had this taser that I bought before I came here to DC. And once I bought this taser in Las Vegas, I carried this taser around because I said out loud, they want to make it seem like if you say it out loud, then who's ever voice to scolding you, they can hear you. And versus who's ever electronically harassing you inside your head and remote monitoring you, they claim that those two type of entities of the government that's doing that is two different people. So they want me to keep my mouth closed about what it is they're electronically harassing me or remote monitoring me about in my head. They want me to keep my mouth closed in regards to that. So they claim the voice to skull technology is a different entity of the government that is also harassing me. So the way that the technology is trying to repeatedly have me believe that there are multiple entities of the government, such as the military, the FBI, and the police, that is harassing and gang stalking me. Now, I don't know anything about the CIA, but I did give them a call, and they want to also believe that the CIA is in on this at this point. But they want me to believe that the CIA is actively working for me against the FBI, the military, and the police, who initially orchestrated and constructed all this and put this into play. And now they want me to believe, hey, yeah, the CIA is on top of this and we're going to bust their ass. At least that is the interpretation that they're giving me. Now, whether or not it's true, I tend to not believe anything that the remote harassers, the voice to skull technology relates to me via remote control monitored in my head or via voice to skull through my ears. I tend not to believe nothing they say, but I don't have a problem with letting you guys know what they're actually saying to me. I think it's hilarious that I repeat exactly what it is that they're saying to me. That way, you guys who are gang stalking me and you guys who are supposedly on the opposing team that's supposedly supposed to be helping me, so you guys can figure out exactly what it is that they're doing to me. Because, I mean, come on now. It's been going on for 5 years. So, anyway, they know that I had a taser. So, of course, they orchestrated me to come here to the White House. And just like I'm talking publicly now and loud now, you know, I video and voice record things that I'm seeing or things that I'm talking about here at the White House. And one of the Secret Service agents or officers, I don't know which one they are, but they came over and I got arrested because I had a taser that they asked me, could they search my bags? And I'm like, sure, no problem. But of course, the electronic abusers and the remote people that are the electronic harassers that are remote monitoring me knew that I had this taser, and they knew that I didn't know the law here in DC well enough because I just got here. So they knew that I did not know that it was not allowed to have a taser to protect myself against these abusers who had been funneling me, filling me on my private parts and walking off, or filling me on my breast and then walking off, or passing me and funneling me on my butt. They knew that I bought this taser for that particular reason, because they kept having these people touch on me inappropriately, and they knew this was first of all against the law. You can't just go up to touch and fondle on people. And second of all, they knew that they were doing this because either they asked these people to do this, or either they remote made these people do this. I don't know which one the case may be, because some of these people are actually innocent, and that I do believe they are actually innocent in what it is about the electronic harassers and what they actually don't know about this type of government secret that I keep spreading the word about. And there are some people who actively participate in gang stalking and actively, willingly say, okay, well, you want me to fondle her? Sure, no problem. This is what you want me to do. So if I do this, what are you going to do? You know that there's that car I've been wanting. And bam, they carry out this act of service for these electronic abusers, and then they go get a car, or they go get $5, or they go get this job that they're wanting, or they're promised some type of advancement in their life, in their pathetic life that already pre-exists to them. So anyway, these people knew that they were having people do this to me, and they knew this was the reason why I had bought the taser. So I'm here in DC and I'm speaking just like now, and look, nobody's bothering me. So either they didn't. Now, one thing about having the Secret Service come talk to me in the first place, because I'm talking out loud, One thing about having the Secret Service come and talk to me in the first place is they could have remote controlled these people to come and approach me in the first place. They could have, dinged their head or zapped them in the first place to have them even come over to talk to me in the first place, because this technology is known. I got arrested here at the White House. So when they came over and talked, okay, I don't know